let's update our NeoForge to 1.21.11. Oh man. Alright, we found us back into once more, and in this tutorial we'll be updating our project over here finally from 1.21.10 to 1.21.11. And most likely this is going to be the last time, because as you probably already know, the next version is going to be 26.1, so that's going to be very interesting indeed. I don't know if there's going to be an update video from 0.11, like 1.21.11 to 26.1. It's gonna take a while to actually get that down and get used to that. But yeah, we're gonna be updating over here. Let's take a look. So of course here, first thing check here is the NeoForge version, which is in this case 21.11.0 beta. So obviously we're still in beta. Still many things can change. Now we're gonna get this working to some degree. Listen, I still remain that you should stay on 1.21.1 and you should not update. But, you know, I mean, listen, I've said this in the last 7 update videos. I think we've done 7 update videos. What the heck is happening? And then I just suggest you jump in again at 26.1, because we're going to have new courses, new tutorials, all of that jazz, all in the next version. And then we're going to start fresh. And I think that this is going to be much better. Regardless, that is fine. And then we can also go on to the release blog post over here, which of course includes a couple of pretty interesting things. Most notably of which, the resource location name was changed to identifier. Now, the note here is very interesting that maybe it's a tribute to Yarn, because that's now done. Or if that is a better name, no one knows. But it doesn't matter. That has changed. Luckily, though, very easy for us to do. So this is going to be 1.21.11. Then here in the version, we have 21.11.0-beta. And then here, the parchment, we actually can update to 1.21.10, at least for me. You can, of course, always check on the parchment website. And that would be on the 12th of October, which is also pretty crazy over here. And that should be the things we need to update. Not quite actually built.gradle. The mod dev version has gone up to 123. We can gradle changes. As per usual, this is going to take, you know, a couple of, 2 seconds, I guess, when you've already done this before. But usually it's going to take, you know, a minute or so. Just stay patient. And once it has gone through, then we can go on to our normal stuff over here. You need a tutorial mod class. So what you'll find is that maybe when you do this for the first time, a couple of things over here are going to be non-existent. That has happened, like that literally the same thing has happened to me before, that it couldn't find NeoForge, but it just took a second to load and then it worked. So just give it a second, or alternatively, you can just reload the Gradle changes here again, you know, possibly just put in NeoForge again over here. And all of a sudden, everything imports. I genuinely don't know why this is the case. Like, it probably does something in the background. But yeah, you just have to stay patient. And at some point, everything comes back and then NeoForge is imported correctly. And I don't know what it is, you know. In the tutorial mod class, we actually don't need to do anything, because the error over here will basically going to be fixed in just a second, basically on its own. Not quite on its own, but when we fix another error. And what we want to do, though, is we want to go to our tutorial mod package, or whatever the name of the mod package is, basically where everything is contained. And here we want to click on this, and we want to press Control-Shift-R. This is going to replace in files, and we want to replace resource location. Right, we should have a bunch of matches over here, and we want to replace this with identifier. Very, very, very freaking important that we write both of those correctly. It has to be resource location, uppercase R, uppercase L, and the identifier, of course, uppercase I. And we're going to replace all of those, and that's going to then replace all of those without any issues. This is literally going to fix all of the issues pertaining to the identifier. So let's, for example, I believe we have one. Right, where do we have one? Now, that's a good freaking question. I don't even know. Those errors can be ignored because that's just deprecation for the time being, and we have chosen to sort of look at the deprecation stuff in the new transfer IP stuff in 26.1. That's going to be fine. Anyway, that's going to be okay. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to run this. So I'm just going to click the run button, and it's going to pop up an error over here, and then we're going to fix that. Most of the errors over here are just import errors. So you just want to remove the import over here. As you can see, Criterion no longer exists as a package. So we can just delete that. We can then go down here back to the state properties predicate over here and just re-import it. And all of a sudden the class works. So that's one of the things that happens quite a lot. Same with the util over here. The util has also changed. We just need to re-import it because that's now in the netmicro util package. So there's just a bunch of package changes, which obviously is somewhat annoying, but it's not that bad. When you're in a class, you can also press Control, Alt, and O to remove all of the unneeded imports. However, that doesn't work with the import that is wrong. You just still have to like manually delete it basically, but that's going to be okay. And with that, we're just going to go through. The abstract arrow also simply has changed its location. Bada bing, bada boom. And with this change and with this fix basically in the tutorial mod package, in the tutorial mod class, we also have the change right here. So now it all works. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I'm going to continue to run. I know I can also go through this this one over here, but I just like to have my class open for me, okay? Those are also wrong imports, so just remove the imports. We're going to go down here. I'm going to import the villager profession, the villager trades, and then there is an issue over here in the ads over here. So this is for custom trades. Very, very easy. Instead of the function that it creates, we simply want to do level. That's it. So we basically just want to put a level in front of the entity so you can see level, comma, so that it has a level here. We're going to do that for all of the different ones where we add this. There you go. That's going to be fine. And finally here for the Kaupenjoe villager, we're going to, instead of in equals, we're going to say compare to, and then we're going to put this in here. And then we're going to say this has to be equal to 0 as the compare to method is going to give you a 0 if they are the same. So theoretically, that should totally work. And yeah, that should be that for this one. So let's take a look. So armor materials. Yeah, armor materials is also the util. So we got that one. That's going to be the util. There we go. Then we have the growth chamber, I believe, a render type. I think this is also just a new import over here. Actually, that's not even a new import. It was just a wrong import. We didn't even need that. All right, let's see. Render type, the same thing. Control, Alt, and O. And it just removes all of the imports that we no longer need. Then we have the trim right here. I believe this is actually a thing that we need to change. Yep. So number one, the util. Once again, just Alt and Enter to import, and then dot location is changed to dot identifier. Very straightforward. Literally the same thing. It happens in the trim. Just the wrong import again. We re-import the util class and change dot location to dot identifier. Mod villagers is just the villager profession, and literally if we re-import the villager profession, everything here works again as well. Block entity, I believe these are just the removals, and I think that's almost everything. We have, yeah, the client item properties within the mod model provider class. Very, very easy. Third parameter that we need, and that is just a 1F over here for the animation scale. Enchantments, there is, yeah, the sword enchantments no longer works or exists, so we can only do weapon enchantable. I don't know. I guess that's something. Location, of course, here is exactly identifier. We have the item removal is fine, that's fine, and the pedestal menu is fine. I think that's everything that we need, that we desperately need. And then we can also go to the mod armor, actually the mod armor item class, and change this a tiny bit, because this is actually a big old error over here. This is actually a big old mistake, because instead of getting the inventory and then getting this whole shebang, what we actually theoretically just want is we want to get the equipment of this. So we want to get the equipment. Is equipment in slot? No, we want to get slot for item. This is also not quite right. The method we actually want to use is get item by slot, which takes in an equipment slot. Listen, don't even ask me why this is named that way. In Fabric, it's called get equipped stack, which is much better than get item slot. But you know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's fine. So basically here, we want to do this for this so that we, instead of the get index over here, we just have this. So it basically just changes. So instead of get inventory, get item, we just have that. So we're going to change this as per usual. Of course, all of the code is also available to you down below in the GitHub repository. And then here, if we copy this over, of course, we need to then also change each individual one to feet, chest, legs, and head. And we want to do the same thing down here. So instead of get inventory, all of this craziness, we just want to use the get item by slot, and then passing in the proper and correct, very importantly, equipment slots. So here, this is going to be the feet, and this is going to be the legs, and this is going to be the chest, and finally, of course, this is going to be the head, which is already correct. And that should then hopefully properly do this. I think this is now going to deal with it. So I think the mod armor item works again. I don't know if you could have done this in previous ones, but listen, at the end of the day, I just, okay, I'm sort of I'm sort of done with 121. Okay, Okay, please just get me out of this. Get me to 26.1, okay? I'm okay with that. That should be it, actually. Theoretically, let's just run this and let's see. I think we do need to run. Okay, so it definitely starts, but I do recommend what you do is you run the data one more time before, because something in the data probably changed, I'm pretty sure. So if you were to make a new world, it might run into some issues there. Now, there is one issue. Okay, that's just going to be because we have the pedestal in here, and I guess the pedestal is a non-block for apparently no particular reason. Regardless, I'm pretty sure if we now run this and we just do that, all of a sudden, it's going to run through the data gen. Awesome. There we go. That's awesome. And we have remove one stale, one written, just in case, you never know. Let's just run the client again, and we should now have everything in the game. So let's see. And of course, here, very importantly, we're going to make a new world. As I've previously said, this is the beta version of NeoForge, so things might change, things might break, all sorts of craziness, but let's just make a new world in this case, creative, and we'll see that basically everything's going to work. Alrighty, so here we are. First things first. Oh, that's really fun. I'm spawning right next to a pale garden biome. That's pretty neat, but that's not what we want. What we want is we want to see everything work. What does that entail? I don't even know. What am I looking for? I guess a plains biome, right? Locate biome plains. Because that should include our trees. Yes, we usually spawn them in plains. Did I not usually spawn them in plains? Oh, I probably changed this. Okay, listen. There's so many changes. I literally cannot keep up. I actually am unable to. So the armor doesn't have any textures. This was not an issue last time, right? This is an issue in this case. At this point, I don't even know anymore. I genuinely do not know. The hammer still makes a 3x3 area. We have a chisel still right clicks. Yep, it does, and it also still spawns some particles. Yep, that it also still works. Well, I can put it on. I'm getting the effects, which is pretty good, but there's nothing rendering. Okay, maybe we have to take a look at that in just a second. Then we have this one. I think this is netherrack, right? Am I crazy? That's why it doesn't spawn. Yep, that's why it doesn't spawn. So that's why the trees don't spawn right here, but we can grow it on netherrack. So that should actually makes sense. And if we were to go down and we can find our custom ore, then we should actually be basically good. And there it is. So that's one of the instances, deep slate ore. So I'm pretty sure world gen also still works totally fine. So with that, that's basically everything except, of course, for some reason, the chest plate over here and stuff like that not working. Let's just double check why that's the case. So the only thing I can imagine is because of the resource key right here, when we're creating this with the default namespace, meaning that we need to do like, this is kind of stupid, but whatever. We're just going to copy over the resource root ID right here. So from the equipment assets class, that interface, I'm going to just copy this over. And instead of making it like this, we're just going to make a resource key.create, passing in the root ID, right? So this is going to be the root underscore ID. And then we'll just have to make this static in just a second, and then we can make an identifier from namespace and path, adding our tutorial mod.mod ID, and then this is going to be bismuth. There we go. And then it should also look into the correct one. So this just has to be static. Then it can actually static. There we go. Then we can actually access this, and that should probably do it. I assume that it's because this makes it in the default namespace, which would then mean that you would need to put either the equipment folder or the textures folder inside of the Minecraft folder instead of the tutorial mod assets folder. That's what's likely going to be happening there. Why the items didn't have textures is a little bit of a mystery to me, though. It might have to do with some of the stuff with the trims and other things, but let's just see. Maybe it all works now. Let's take a look. With how few changes there were, I genuinely thought that this would be a little bit faster, but fair enough, I guess. And let's take a look. Okay, so that doesn't work, but this works. Okay, so at least it works right here. Why the items don't work, well, that's a mystery for the ages. So the issue is that the generation for the JSON files right here actually generates the layer 1 as tutorial mod business underscore lapis instead of literally just doing, pointing to the Minecraft one. That's strange. I'm not 100% sure why that would be the case. This is in the mod model over here, and this is for this one right here. So I guess it's the trimmable item namespace right here, the identifier. Yep, that is exactly correct. And let's actually take a look. I believe we should actually have a different thing to put in here. Let's see if this works. this indeed does work. And look at this. There's a trim prefix for each of them. So this is going to be the helmet right here. Ah, beautiful. Okay, we're going to be able to fix that as well. Listen, there were so many different, at this point, there were so many different versions. I literally do not even know what happens in each version anymore, okay? We're just going to be done with 1.21.11 and all the other ones, and let 26.1 supremacy rate, okay? There we go. We have to rerun data over here, obviously, to regenerate all of the JSON files. And then I actually think that the item is also going to work again. So you see, we even fixed a couple of things over here. Nice. Yeah, written 44. Not many at all. Great. All right, let's go to the game to check this one more time. Do not fear, your trusty Kaupenjoe modding tutorial guides here. Hey, let's go. So there we go. It works again. Now there's still, I think, a couple of things that are a little bit broken. But I think for the most part, I think everything that we've added so far works over here. And I'm kind of okay with it because, like I said, I don't want you to update anyway, okay? Like, why are you even doing this, okay? This is your own fault. Anyway, that's 121.11. Oh man. We have finally made it. The end is nigh, at least for 1.21. And yeah, we're not going to get 1.22, which is absolutely insane, but there we go. Like I said, I do not know if we're going to make a 1.21.11 to 26.1 update video, because that sounds like an absolute nightmare. I will 100% start a new series though, so that is for sure going to be the case. And I'll also likely make a new course as well, but all of that is going to be communicated when the time is right. For now though, that's going to be it for this tutorial right here. I hope you found this useful and you learned something new, and I'll see you all in the next tutorial, whatever that might be. Until then, so yeah.